Welcome back to the next round of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Generation Next tournament here on the HomeBoiz channel, and today we're going to have Sarina going up against Brron the Mad King. So Sarina's deck, really quick, it's supposed to be some sort of mirror deck, so I added a lot of really good mirror cards that would help boost the strategy, because realistically her deck sucks. So there's two sides of it, yeah? There's the parts that I added, and there's her own zombie deck, fairy deck, it's fairy deck, yes. So you have the Silver Spirits, which can both bring each other back from the graveyard, and that's it. They have low points, and they're both level 4s, and that's about it. There's no Xyz monsters in this deck. You have cards that can throw away monsters from your deck. You have the images, or the monsters that represent her and her brother. Also, they're just tribute monsters that only summon the other copy from the graveyard. That's it. You have the level 8 Fiend Load of Darkness, which is the ace monster of the deck. Can't die in battle, it can attack directly, and it does, it can't attack directly, but it does 700 every time it kills a monster. There's supposed to be a whole strategy of, you know, using a full moon mirror to bring out the field spell, summon a bunch of copies. That's almost never going to happen because you got to build up 10 counters, meaning you got to kill a bunch of monsters. It's really, really stupid and pointless. And that's why the rest of the deck is focused on the Dream Mirror archetype. They also focus around field spells just like her original deck does. There's two different field spells though. There is basically the Dream Mirror of Terror and of Joy, and they can both coexist on the field essentially. When you have one, all your dream mirrors of the opposite attribute can change into their dark forms. So their attack and defense swap and their effect change. And that's essentially her whole deck. That is what her fusion monsters are, and that is what her entire extra deck, or side deck is, excuse me, to give her a much more reliable strategy to go to. And with this tagging in and out during the main phase, battle phase, opponent's turn, it can be really, really nice. And she does in fact have a trap card. I believe it's this one. No. Somewhere over here is a trap card that actually lets you play both of the field spells on both sides of the field. So that's really cool, and that is how Sarina's deck works. Moving on to her opponent. So over here we have Brron, Mad King of Darkworld, and in this second round I did make some tiny tweaks to people. I'll probably be doing the same thing later on throughout the tournament. And essentially we just have this one cubic monster here. It can't actually be played. It's supposed to work in tandem with the Wicked Cannon, because the Wicked Cannon says, hey, every time Brron takes damage, throw away one of these spells, right? And if I had all of them in the graveyard, I can banish them all, reveal a fusion monster, and summon one of the monsters that makes that fusion. Unfortunately, there's something wrong with the programming of the card, and I myself wasn't able to code it any differently to get it to work, because I did a couple of test situations and was never able to actually summon this. So in essence, you have a massive level 10 brick that can't be normal summoned. Very unfortunate, on top of the fact that he already has all these bricks in his deck to begin with. But the Darkworld deck aims to throw away cards from the hand, and when they get thrown away, most of them summon themselves, some search things, yada yada yada. It can be a really aggressive, high octane deck in terms of attack points. It doesn't really spam the field too much though. They do have a lot of sneaky options for the trap cards, like viruses, bringing stuff back, throwing your opponent's stuff away, and even banishing cards out of the graveyard for disruption capabilities, all while also throwing away cards from your hand to activate your own effects. A couple of quick little cheeky Xyz monsters down here just for options. It's not necessary. And the side deck is where the terror is at, because the side deck, you go into the Lord, or the Layer of Darkness archetype, where all of these monsters have different effects and attack points and stat lines. They can be brought back from the graveyard, they can sacrifice themselves to search things, and it focuses on more of a virus strategy. So with the virus trap cards, which can all be searched with the side deck cards, your viruses can destroy every single monster, spell, and trap that your opponent draws or plays. But with that being said, let the duel begin. Round 1 between Brron and Sarina. Brron will be making the first move, and it looks like he bricked pretty hard because he did not get a single monster. We're going to see the Wicked Cannon and his field spell, the Gates of Darkworld, and that is going to be all for him with 2 face-down cards. Sarina opens up with the Full Moon Mirror and the Dawn Knight, swinging in for 1400, allowing Brron to get rid of one of his little sinister doctrines, and it looks like he has another one in his hand. He's just going to set a monster before passing turn. So Sarina, meanwhile, is going to normal summon Yugioh. It attempted to swing in on the face-down monster, but thanks to Gates of Darkworld, their points were tied, so it didn't die. So Dawn Knight's gonna have to destroy Scar, the Scout of Darkworld, and when it gets destroyed in battle, he can add a level 4 or lower Darkworld to his hand, so he adds himself. Now we're gonna see Brron, the Mad King of Darkworld, hit the field with 21 thanks to the 300 boost, and when it does damage, Brron can throw away a card in his hand to trigger another Darkworld's effect. But we're going to see Sarina activate the trap card Mirror World Break, which lets her banish any of her opponent's monsters. So Brron is gone from the game entirely. Using the Gates of the Darkworld, you can banish a fiend in your graveyard, throw away another card or a fiend monster specifically in your hand, and then draw a card. And since the card that they threw away was Cocky, Gorilla of Darkworld, he can destroy a monster. So bye-bye Dawn Knight. That not only puts a second counter on the Full Moon Mirror, but it triggers Dawn Knight's ability, which will let Sarina throw away a light monster from her deck. So there goes the Silver Spirit Sakio. So if he gets another Yugioh, then she can go ahead and bring both of those monsters out at the same time. And that is all for Bron's turn. Back to Sarina, just a simple set card, 800 damage, not much. Wicked Cannon will trigger, so there's Anguish right there, and it's right back to Brron immediately, not doing too much. But Brron is still in a tremendous losing position. He's going to use the Gates to draw and to special summon Gold Wu Lord of Darkworld with 2600 points, and he got a second copy of himself. So now we have 2 really big offensive threats that Sarina's going to have to face. In response to the attack, she activates the trap card Mirror of Duality. So Mirror of Duality will take 1,000 life points out of Sarina's points and destroy every single monster on the field. The opponent takes 500 points of damage for every monster they lose, and Sarina only loses 100 for all of her monsters that die. So there we go. Not a whole lot going on there, or every monster that the opponent lost, I should say. So her Yugioh is still safe. That's only 1 counter actually for the Full Moon Mirror. And now we're gonna see the Forces of Darkness activate to add 2 Dark Worlds back to the hand. I don't think he has anything he can banish though for the Gates, so he's left once again with no monsters on the field after taking all that damage. Here we're gonna see Magic Mirror Spirit Asogi hit the field with 1500, 18 since it's a fiend type thanks to the Gates of Darkworld. And oh yeah, you get to trigger a Sinister Doctrine, so your deck is growing just a little bit shorter, but it's not aiding you enough. Here we're going to see Brron hit the field with 21, do 300 points of damage, allowing him to throw away Gold, and when Gold gets thrown away, it summons itself straight out the grave, so that's going to be 2600 to the face. Now it is a much more even game life point wise, and Sarina's running out of options, so she's just going to go ahead and play a face down card. And now Bron's going to really need to find another monster he can summon, because Sarina just equipped Gold with Reaction Star Mirror, which means that Brron will take any damage that this monster causes from now on. But he has a response. He's going to sacrifice it in order to activate Eradicator Epidemic Virus. So I believe that he chose spell cards, so all spell cards that traps. Okay. So all of Sarina's trap cards will be destroyed for the next 3 turns. He drew a monster though, so with 4,100 points on board, that is game, and round 1 goes to Brron. Round 2, and now Sarina has her serious deck, so she has the the mirror monsters, Dream Mirror, excuse me, and we've seen the damage that it can do in the last round of the tournament, so we're going to see what it does to the Darkworld deck. Bron's going to start off by normal summoning Snow, giving it 1 card of support and passing it over to Sarina. She's going to start opening with the Graceful Charity, so there's 2 copies of Sakio in the graveyard now, and a lot of defense being played here. Sarina does get her Dream Mirror of Terror field spell, so that's one of the two. The thing that sucks is since she didn't play it with the trap card, she's not going to have a way to get both of the Dream Mirror field spells out on the field at the same time. So her deck is already going to be really limited here. And Brron responds with the Dark Smog, so he can banish monsters in Sarina's graveyard and throw away cards from his own hand to set up more of his strategies. He's going to throw away Silva, where just like gold, Silva brings itself right back from the graveyard when it gets thrown away. And now he'll get a benefit of Sarina's card of Sanctity, so they both draw until they get 6 cards, and it looks like they both get to draw 4 here. We're going to see the Dream Mirror Phantasms continuous spell card activate here. So she's going to get a Dream Mirror monster from her deck, and she does not have Joy, but since Dream Mirror of Terror is on the field, all of Bron's monsters are going to lose 500 attack and defense points. So we're going to see them start to shrink and grow a lot smaller. And she has quite a bit of defense with 4 cards face down and a monster. We're going to see Dark Smog get rid of the other Yugioh by sacrificing Gren. And when Gren, the Tactician of Darkworld, gets sacrificed, he can destroy a spell or trap on the field, aiming for the Dream Mirror of Terror. And it succeeded. So now her monsters are going to go back to their normal attack points. Darkworld Lightning will destroy a face-down card on the field, so it looks like he aimed for a trap card there, and he actually hit her counter trap. So there you go. She's not going to be able to... She would have potentially negated the summon of a monster. I did not see what he threw away. It looks like another copy of Silva, so Brron has a lot of attack points stacking up on the field. Silva's going to attack, and there we go, another Mirror of Duality trap. So Brron takes 1,500 while Sarina loses 13. Life points are very, very even now, and all the Dark Worlds have been destroyed. Back to Sarina's turn now. She's going to normal summon the Mathematician, which will allow her to throw away any card in her deck, be it monster, spell, or trap. Looks like she's going to be getting rid of the Hypnagogia, I believe is how you pronounce that, because it just plays field spells and one of them's already gone. She only has 1 copy of each. We're going to see Phantasos, the Dream Mirror Fiend, be flipped up, and we're going to see the effect of Neroy, the Dream Mirror Disciple, which can special summon itself when Sarina plays a Dream Mirror monster. So there we go. I believe it also, yes, it is now a dark type monster. So she's going to swing for 19 right there and 15 with the Mathematician, putting Brron at a measly 3,100 life points left. He's going to normal summon Yugioh, the Knight of the Dark World, which is his top deck, which is stronger than every monster on Sarina's field, but Sarina has the Mirror Mail, which will take the monster as being attacked and make it tied with its attacker, so they will suicide into each other. Brron has the Charge into the Dark World, which will bring him back a level 4 or lower feed and let him throw something away. Sarina's going to use the Soul Mirror, though, which will sacrifice a card on her field in order to pick a monster in her graveyard and summon it as well. So they're both going to get something here, but Brron has the Dark Smog, which will be able to banish a monster in the graveyard. So he's going to go ahead and banish the Dream Mirror she wanted to summon, meaning the Soul Mirror will accomplish absolutely nothing. Yugioh still hits the field. Ceruli got discarded though, so it's going to summon itself in defense to Sarina's field and throw away a card in Bron's hand. There goes the other Dark Smog. I don't really think it's going to make too much of a difference though. And Sarina drew into the Reaction Star Mirror, so Yugioh will start doing damage to Bron instead of vice versa. We're going to see Morpheus, the Dream Mirror Black Knight, hit the field via Tribute Summon, and it's really interesting that they didn't tribute Ceruli over here, so I think she's going to go ahead and try to crash right there. But either way, we're going to see Ceruli do 1,700 points of damage to Brron, and then the Black Knight is going to go ahead and finish Brron off, leaving him with 400 points, or excuse me, finish off Yugioh. We're just going to see a Wicked Cannon here, not really anything to defend himself with. So with a direct attack, Black Knight wins the duel for Sarina. Final round between Sarina and Brron, with Sarina taking the first turn here, and she has a decent hand to start with. Dawn's going to hit the field with a single face down card, and when it dies, she'll be able to throw away a light monster. Now, Bron's going to provide just a tiny bit of support with the Dark World dealings. Both players draw 1 card and then throw 1 card away, and he sacrificed Snow, the Unlight of Dark World, which will allow him to search for a Dark World monster. Then he's going to set just a single monster and pass his turn because his entire hand is loaded with monsters. So very top heavy deck over there. Meanwhile, Sarina was able to normal summon the Phantasos, the Dream Mirror foe, with 1900, and since she has a Dream Mirror, here comes Neroid, the Dream Mirror disciple, to the field as well, turning itself into a dark monster, which could potentially cause a couple of... Oh, it stays a light monster. I apologize. So when she gets, it looks like, one of her field spells, she'll be able to do something with either one of her Dream Mirror monsters. Ran into Scar, so Scar will search for a level 4 or lower, and it looks like they grab Ceruli, so the pieces are in play. But first, there's going to be massive damage going Bron's way, and here's a clever little trick, right? Sarina has a monster in her graveyard, which is Dawn Knight. By sacrificing a monster on her field for Soul Mirror, she can bring back any monster that exists in her grave, so she sacrificed the 1900 Phantasos after it's already attacked so that she could revive it once again and do 3,800 points of damage with a single monster, leaving Brron with only 2,800 life points to work with on his second turn of the duel. Bron's going to summon himself to the field with 18, run over Neroid to do 800 points of damage, allowing him to throw away a card in his hand, which is going to be Ceruli. Now watch this chain. Ceruli will summon itself in defense mode to Sarina's side of the field, and Brron has to throw away a card in his hand. So he's going to throw away the Rainbow, Overlord of Darkworld. Rainbow, unlike the other Darkworld monsters, can only be brought back from the grave if your opponent's card threw it away, and since it did, now when he comes back, he gets to pick monster or spells and traps, and all of those cards on Sarina's field will be destroyed. Obviously choosing monster, Dawn Knight will throw away a copy of Silver Spirit Sakyo, and Brron will get to attack with 2,500, so he Raigeki during the battle phase, which is honestly pretty impressive. We're not going to see too much happen on Sarina's side, but she does have the reaction Star Mirror to save her once again. She only runs one copy of this, by the way, so this is some serious heart of the card stuff. So now Rainbow's attack points will all be reflected right back at Brron whenever it does damage. And passing it over to Bron's turn, she secured herself a safe turn for herself. We're going to see Brow, Huntsman of the Darkworld, hit the field with 1,400. So there is Brron attacking. He gets to throw away Gren. He actually did not throw away one of the other Darkworlds, but Gren will destroy the Reaction Star Mirror so that Brron can use Rainbow. 25, 14, and Brron has won the duel.